So last few days have been like overwhelming joy, actually. Mostly joy. ACMA, thug life. Yeah, so this video is recorded like specifically for the NYC CMA community, but it's also for anyone struggling with addiction of any sort of substance. So I'm just going to recount my experience. I had the last 2 days. So day one of going to an in-person CMA meeting. I've already done the Zoom meetings many times, but like have not been to one in recent history. And like I got to share part of my story with CMA. But like there was so many people. It was a packed house. Actually, I was really surprised. I thought it was gonna be like, I don't know, 10 people max, but like it was like a full house actually. So I like that. I like that sense of community that they have, and I wish to be a part of it. So the last CMA in-person meeting I attended was 2013 in Provincetown, Massachusetts. Lovely place. You should visit it if you've never been. So to me, I used to be a houseboy, and like I'll let you Google what that is, but yeah. So I was a houseboy in Provincetown for a lovely gentleman, older gentleman, and like we didn't have to fuck. I didn't have to fuck him. He didn't have to fuck me. That wasn't part of the deal. That wasn't part of the arrangement. So I got to live in Provincetown, and it was beautiful. Like, I wasn't sober though, because like day one I met someone, Kidder, if you're out there, hi. Yeah, day one I met Kidder, and I had my first connect, and it was just like that, like a drop of a hat, right? And it is too humid for this. Like, just keep it thug life. And and like I cut the shirt too, like just to show I'm thug life. Like, I don't give a fuck if it's just a t-shirt to me. Like, that's thug life, thug life. I'm talking about that thug life. So I went to the in-person CMA meeting in Provincetown in 2013, and to me that means I've been doing this shit for almost a fucking decade, guys. And because I'm 31 now, and to me that means 33.3% of my life is gone, wasted. Okay, not gone, but wasted. And for what? For a few good laughs and like a few like quick fucks. Like that's what like the last 10 years have been. And I have nothing to show for it except pain. Sorry, my mom watches me on my security camera footage, and like I'm parked in my driveway, so like I just don't want her to see me crying and get concerned, because I'm actually in a good mood. I feel blessed. So okay, back to my story before I went off on a fucking wild tangent. So in 2013, I was at a CMA meeting in person, and it was lovely. It was exactly what I needed in that moment, and still need today, now, in this moment. It was a sense of community, and brotherhood, and kinship, and all of those things tied into one, woven into one basket. And let me turn on the AC. It's hella hot. And like we went out for pizza afterwards, and we just fucking pigged out on pizza, and it was great. And I got to swap a few numbers, as I'm sure you can imagine. And the same thing happened at the in-person CMA meeting I went to on Monday at the center, the LGBT center on West 13th Street. I got a bunch of phone numbers, and I feel like I made a bunch of new friends. So that's one thing that that I took out of that meeting, was like I made new fucking friends, guys. And it's so hard for me to make friends because I don't know many people, period. And when I decided to get clean, I decided I had to cut out all the negative influences from my life, which was literally everyone I knew. So I'm left with zero, starting from scratch, experiencing rebirth. That's what this is, a rebirth of my soul, my spirit, my body, my mind, etc. And I want to live in it. I want to enjoy what's left of my life. And like, I know, like, I'm only 31, but like, I wasted a fucking decade, guys. A decade. And I'm sick of it. I'm done with it. Turn the page. Next chapter, please. I'm sorry, like, a couple of you pointed out, like, I'm always chewing gum. Yeah, I'm always chewing gum because, like, it makes your breath fresh and, like, it's good for your teeth. And, like, I fucked up teeth from the Tina Turner. You guys know I hate that word, right? I have, like, jagged tooth and back where food always gets stuck in it, and it's, like, from, like, grinding on Tina, actually. Tina Turner. Like, she's so gentle, like, that she'll fuck your teeth up, right? So, I did, and Monday's meeting, so it was great. So it was long ass commute for me, all the way from Staten Island. Plus my car wasn't working. That's why it was a long commute. So I had to bus it, old fashioned way, and that was fine because it was worth it. It was honestly, I can say, worth it. What I was expecting to get out of the meeting is what I got out of the meeting, which was to meet new people, to make new friends, and to join a community. Like in person. Not only on Zoom, because I've done many of the Zoom meetings and like they're super helpful and like they've like prevented relapse in myself, but there's like just nothing like interpersonal, one-on-one, human to human, homo sapien to homo sapien, face to face contact, and not contact, not context, Philip. And oh yeah, and Philip, he gave like really riveting, he was one of the chairs, and he gave a speech, like his experience using crystal meth. I call it meth usually. Guys, don't get too upset. I'm not trying to like press buttons. Like, I literally just call it meth because I was a biology major in college and I flunked out. I never passed. Not because I didn't understand biology. I understand it quite well. But drugs. Everyone always says, dude, you're so fucking smart. You're so intelligent. But no college degree. And if I'm so fucking smart, why am I doing math, right? It is like insanity, actually. Okay, guys, I've calmed down. I'm a bit more stable now. I apologize for that. Not really. I shouldn't be sorry for that. So day one of this week, Monday, I go to in-person CMA meeting, the first one since 2013. I'm really proud of myself. Good job, Marcin. Pat on the back. Yes, I deserve it. Yes, you're the best. No, please, no photographs, please. All right. In my head, right? And day two, I signed up for rehab. Well, I signed up for rehab on Thursday, but I went to, to meet with, first to do the fucking, 45-page registration sheet. Took, literally a full hour to fill out this registration sheet. It was like I was signing my life away. I realized I was signing my life away because, basically, you allow them, you permit them to put you into a psych ward if they feel it necessary, if they feel you're a threat to yourself or others. So, you sign away, you're right. Because they are mandated reporters, it's called, meaning they need to report crimes and situations of sexual abuse or violence, domestic violence or sexual violence or other petty crime. Even you may get snitched on by your caseworker, so just be careful because most of them are mandated reporters. At least my caseworker. So I had to be very wary about the stories I tell her, the trauma and drama and anxiety that I've dealt with by using meth. That has been inflicted upon me because of my meth use, my responsibility. I did it to myself. I inflicted it upon myself. Well, there was some trauma along the way that I'm not going to get into right now that happened to me, upon me. Not because of me or in spite of me. It just happened to me. And it's tricky not to fall into victimhood when trauma has been inflicted upon you, right? That's a little more difficult than okay, so they trying to dial back. Fucking ADHD, yo. I need to be on Adderall, not meth. But no psychiatrist is gonna entertain that possibility now, because like in my psychiatric record, it's written that like I have a history of meth abuse. So Adderall prescription like gone out the window. So I ruined that for myself. And and this is a medication I feel I could really benefit from. Because I have all the symptoms like hyperactivity, I fidget a lot, I talk fast, etc. I can't stay focused on one thing for very long. When it's something I'm really interested in, I have hyper focus, laser focus. So it's like OCD plus ADHD, and it's like a dangerous combination actually. So, day 0 or day 1, I go to in-person CMA meeting. Day 2 or day 1, depending on your perspective, I do the intake, plus the intake interview at the Silverstein Clinic at 1130 South Avenue. The Love Building is called, and because there's lots of love to be found there. I hope so. I haven't really started therapy there yet. I've done 1 round of group therapy, and that's like too early to determine if so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to cover all bases, right? So I'm doing the outpatient IOP now. Today was my first day of IOP, and this is day 2 now. You can think of it day 2 of actual rehab, not just CMA. And I do that's the thing is for me it's day 0. Day 1 was going to the in-person CMA meeting. That was rehabilitation for me, and I don't actually see a distinction between the two. Sorry, it just feels in my fucking face. So I don't actually see any distinction between the two. You see what I mean about fidgeting frequently? So, back to what I was saying. I consider CMA to be rehabilitation. I do consider CMA to be a form of rehab. Just because it's done online, or is not state mandated or something, or court ordered, does not make it not rehab in my perspective, from the way I see things, and my definition of what rehab is and should be. And to me, rehab is just that, rehabilitation. So getting better, getting well, getting okay, making things right, beyond just health, making amends. That was the subject of today's Zoom meeting, making amends. And I told this story to the Silverstein Clinic, but I think I only told it to 1 or 2 people at the in-person CMA meeting at the LGBT center, or the center, the only center there is, the center at which we find balance. And that's what I found there. I found balance. I found for the first time in a while, my thoughts were still. They were still, and I could think clearly. And what I thought about clearly was that I want to get better. It's that simple. It's plain and simple. It's really quite easy to understand. Is the psychologist today at the Silverstein Clinic, he asked me, he's like, what are you trying to get out of this? I was like, control. Some fucking self-control. How about that? Let's start with that. Let's start with just a little bit of self-control, and the rest I think I gotta figure it out. No, that's ego speaking. I know that's ego speaking. I got this, guys. I got this, right? I don't need extra help. I just need I need a boost, right? Well, that is what I need. In fact, I just need a boost, and that's what the community is. That's what rehab is. The group sessions anyway. Solo, one-on-one with a therapist. That's between you and your therapist. So. You discuss that with your therapist, because you're supposed to discuss that kind of stuff with your therapist, period. So last few days have been overwhelming joy, actually. And also a lot of stress, because it's I'm finally committing to something, and what I'm committing to is so radically different than what I'm used to, and what I'm used to is just trauma and drama and anxiety. That is what I am used to. And I am done with it. So I will attend CMA meetings more religiously Not religious in like the religious definition of the word, but religiously as in adherent, as in compliant. And I promise that to you, CMA, that I will keep going to the Zoom meetings. I will stay consistent. I will try to stay stable, whatever that means. I will try to make shit right for myself, get my shit together for myself and for you guys as well, so that one day maybe I can be a sponsor and I can inspire someone else to do better and improve their life and fix their life and fix their fuck-ups. And I shouldn't call them fuck-ups. That's very harsh. And like that's very judgmental. I recognize that. And this week was a blessed week. I went to, just to summarize, I went to in-person CMA meeting, the first one I've been to since 2013. I signed up for rehab the Thursday of the week prior. I went to rehab. I only did the intake plus the intake interview on day one of rehab. What, people call rehab. IOP. And day 2, or day 3, if I'm starting with the day I went to CMA in person, day 3 was the first group therapy session, and I was half an hour late because I was like doing stuff at the mechanic, and I almost didn't go. Actually, I almost didn't go. I was like, oh fuck, I'm late now. Like I'm gonna show up. I'm just gonna be like, half an hour left in the class, or sorry, in the therapy session, and I was like, fuck it, like it's just not worth it. And the cab took forever to come. I'm like, yeah, I was actually about like 40 minutes late to what is like an hour and a half therapy session. So so I missed a significant portion of it, but I was all caught up, and I got to meet like lovely chick named Reborn. Her name's Reborn, and her name like by itself spoke to me, because what I'm experiencing now is a rebirth of sorts, right? A rebirth of the mind and the body and the soul and the spirit, and all those things collectively, or make me who I am, and who I am is just someone that wants to get better. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to like. I will say this. My tears are not false. I'm not hamming it up for the camera or something, okay? Like, this is how I genuinely feel. Like, I'm a fucking Scorpio, guys. Like, I have, like, intense emotions all the time. And I don't even fucking believe in astrology.